I'm 71 years old, and everything you believe about financial security is wrong. You think making good money means you're safe. It doesn't. You think you'll figure retirement out later. You won't. You think high income protects you from poverty. It never did. I made between $100,000 and $200,000 a year for 30 years. I lost everything anyway, not because of bad luck, because of beliefs you still have right now. Let me destroy the biggest lie first. High income does not equal security. Income is what you make. Security is what you keep and structure so it works without you. I had income for 3 decades. I never had security. And the moment the income stopped, I had nothing. You're doing the same thing. You just don't see it yet. You look at your paycheck and feel safe. You look at your bank account and think you're ahead. You tell yourself you'll get serious about retirement soon. That word soon is what killed me. I want you to picture something specific. You're 68 years old. You walk into a financial advisor's office because your body can't do the work anymore. You sit down. They pull up your accounts, and they ask you one question. Where did it all go? That happened to me 3 years ago. $11,000. That's what I had saved after 30 years of 6-figure income. $11,000, a paid-off car, and a house with $32,000 of equity left after the second mortgage. That was the moment I realized there was no version of my life where this fixed itself. I wasn't living. I was checking boxes. Make money, pay bills, upgrade the car, better vacation, nicer house, normal things, reasonable things, things everyone does. I wasn't being reckless. I was being automatic. I assumed that someone who made my kind of money didn't need to worry yet. I assumed I'd get serious next year. I assumed income meant progress. I was wrong about all of it. Every year I delayed was a year of my 70s I was spending in advance. I just didn't know I was spending it. Here's what I regret. Not the things I bought, not the vacations I took, not the life I lived. I regret assuming I had time. I regret treating retirement like a problem that would solve itself if I just kept making money. I regret choosing comfort now over structure later. I regret every single year I told myself, I'll start next year. Because next year became next decade. And next decade became 68 years old. With $11,000 and no plan. That's the regret. Delay. Nothing else. And you're doing it right now. You think you're different. You're not. You think you'll be the one who figures it out later. You won't. You think your income makes you exempt from what happened to me. It doesn't. I was you. 20 years ago, I was sitting exactly where you're sitting, making exactly the excuses you're making, believing exactly what you believe, and I ended up here, 71 years old, living in an RV parked behind a gas station in Nevada. Everything I owned fits in one vehicle. Social Security pays me $900 a month. I have $19,000 left from selling my house. That's my retirement. Not because I was stupid. Not because I failed. Let me tell you what happened after that meeting with the advisor. I kept working for 6 months. My knees were destroyed. I couldn't travel for sales calls. I couldn't stand at trade shows. My body had requirements the job couldn't meet anymore. So I stopped. And the money stopped. And I tried to make it work. I burned through the equity in the house. I sold things. I cut everything I could cut. But $900 a month doesn't cover a life built for someone making 6 figures. I sold the house. After paying off what I owed, I walked away with $43,000. I bought this RV for $11,000. I thought I'd stretch the money. I thought I'd find part-time work. But nobody hires you at 70. You're too old, too slow, too expensive to insure. The world stops bidding on you. So, I've been living off that money for 3 years. Eating carefully. Moving when I have to. Trying to make it last. It won't. Nothing about this was dramatic. No bankruptcy. No medical crisis. No divorce. No scam. Just quiet erosion. Year after year of choosing now over later. Small delays, compounding into nothing. That's what you don't understand yet. Retirement doesn't collapse. And then one day you're 71, and you realize all those later promises were just permission to do nothing. Here's the truth nobody accepts. Security is built early and deliberately, or it doesn't get built at all. Time is the real currency retirement uses. Not money. Time. Because money without time doesn't compound. It just sits there, waiting for you to need it before it's ready. I had money. I never gave it time. I kept assuming I'd start later. I kept assuming later was neutral. Later isn't neutral. Later is a decision. It's the decision to let future you handle the consequences of what present you refuse to face. And future you will not forgive you for it. I know. Because I'm future you. And I'm standing here telling you that the cost of waiting is higher than you think, and it comes due faster than you expect. Let me ask you something. If you died tomorrow, would you be satisfied with how you've prepared for the life you won't be able to work anymore? Not how you've lived. How you've prepared. Because living and preparing are not the same thing. I lived well. I enjoyed my income. I had experiences. I wasn't miserable, but I never prepared. And now living is over. What's left is just consequences. You're going to be somewhere in 20 years. The only question is whether that place was chosen or defaulted into. I defaulted. And default doesn't care how much money you made. It only cares what you kept. So here's what you're going to do. Not next month. Not after the holidays. Not when things settle down. Now, this week, you will do one thing. Open your retirement account and look at the number. If you don't have one, open one today. If you do, check how much is there and whether it matches the life you think you're going to live. Write down 3 things. Number 1, how much you'll need. 2, how much you're contributing. And 3, when you'll increase it. 1 conversation. 1 document. 1 decision that proves you're taking this seriously. Not later. Because the perfect time will never come. There will always be something else. A bill. A vacation. An upgrade. Something more urgent than a problem that feels 20 years away. But 20 years is not far. I'm proof. 20 years ago, I was 51. I thought I had time. I thought I'd handle it soon. And now I'm here. Time does not wait for you to feel ready. It does not pause while you figure things out. It does not give you extra years because you were busy or distracted or convinced you'd start later. It just runs out. And when it does, you will be standing exactly where I'm standing, looking back at every year you had leverage and didn't use it. Every year you could have built something and chose comfort instead. Every year you told yourself you'd start soon. Those years don't come back. They're spent. And what you didn't build during them doesn't exist now. I don't hate my life. I've accepted it. But acceptance doesn't undo it. I still wake up in an RV. I still count every dollar. I still know that I can't afford to get sick, can't afford to break down, can't afford anything except survival. That's not retirement. That's waiting to die on a budget. You don't have to end up here. That's the only difference between us. You still have leverage. You still have time that compounds. You still have the ability to build something that will carry you when your body can't. I didn't use mine. And now I'm here. High income delayed my discipline. And that delay cost me everything. You think you're building wealth because you're making money. You're not. You're just delaying the bill. And the bill comes. It always comes. It came for me at 68 when my knees gave out and the income stopped and I realized I had nothing. It will come for you too. The only question is whether you'll have something when it does. Don't learn this the way I did. Don't wait until you're 71 to realize that every assumption you made about time and money and security was wrong. Don't assume later will fix what you're not doing now. Later is not neutral. Later is a decision. And it's the decision that destroyed me. I'm not asking for sympathy, I'm giving you evidence. This is what happens when you delay. This is what "I'll get serious soon" actually costs. Not someday, not theoretically, now, in reality, at 71. This is the receipt. Learn it now, while you still can, while it still matters. Because I'm future you, and I'm telling you, the cost of waiting is everything.